Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, the home of everything crypto. In this video, we're going to be talking about XRP, the things that have been going on most recently, what we expect to happen next, and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe by tapping the bell, selecting all the notifications. You will stay up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Above and beyond all of those things, though, make sure you join us down in the Discord server. It's a centralized hub of everything that we do Cheeky Crypto. It is completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. It's the first place we go to notify people of what is going on in the crypto space. Get ahead of the game by joining us down in Discord. Link in the description below. Okay, XRP paired up with USDT on the hourly chart here, and Binance is our data source. Paired up with USDT and using Binance because it gives us the biggest kind of liquidity pairing on one of the biggest exchanges. Helps us understand more likely what is going to be going on here. Different exchanges will have different pairs and different levels of liquidity, therefore different prices, etc. So just bear that in mind, that this is very specific to Binance, but should hopefully translate to as many as possible. So here we can see that we're still ranging. We've been ranging in a sideways trading pattern for a very long time. This is known as a continuation pattern, and it hasn't really changed. You can see that we're basically below this level here, 39.9 cent, and above the area of 32.47 cent. Essentially, these two areas are acting as a bit of a supply barrier just up here, and a bit of a demand barrier down at the bottom. Okay, but we're basically trading sideways. We're going sideways between these two levels. This is called a continuation pattern. It's a continuation pattern based on what is going on beforehand. We're coming on down here. We then continue to go sideways. And then once this is done, we all continue to go down. Okay, so you see it as a continuation pattern, a bit of a stopping ground, if you will, allows things to kind of get reset. And in the case of XRP, that is exactly what has been going on here. Okay, so although I cannot time how long this is going to take to play out, one of the things that we kind of have here is two scenarios in play. Ignore the bigger macro one down here at 25 cent. You've got between 30 and 40 cent. These are two wave counts that are yet to actually be completed. Until we kind of move up into the 40 cent range, we can't really say that we've got a B wave complete. We could obviously say it was over here, of course. There's actually a lot of really complicated structures that are going on the inside of this particular triangular wedge. And then, of course, you know, we've got the 30 cent, which again is something else that we can't say is done until we actually break down either to 30 cent or invalidate it by going to 40 cents. So those are the two kind of options that we kind of find ourselves in trading sideways here. But, you know, considering the time that it's taken to kind of play out, we can now maybe look at a couple of different options within this as well. Okay, so we could potentially look at this as a triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull in a trend line across here, for example, and we'll pull in a trend line down here as well. Okay, and the trend lines aren't overly important. They just help visualize things a little bit here. And then a triangular pattern would be that we'd go up in an A wave, down in a B wave, up in a C wave, down into a D wave, and up into an E wave. Okay, and then we go ahead and just make this color yellow to make it a little bit easier to kind of see. Okay, now these kind of patterns, they can only ever appear in B wave positions or wave 4 positions. Okay, so this would be a B wave and means it would still break down from here. And normally you would expect 5 waves out of this. It's not a guarantee, but it's kind of what you would expect to see on the most part. So I'd be looking for a pretty violent kind of move down, and you know that brings us into the 25 cent range. Now, what's the catalyst for it? No idea. Essentially, the patterns that we've got going on here is basically telling us that the market wants to do this, and all it requires is something to tip it over the edge. Okay, so we kind of have this kind of pattern here, this A, B, C, D, E as a potential, and then a breakdown out of 5 waves. Okay, either way, I'm still looking at this with all of the various different counts that are going on, whether we want to look at it as a triangular pattern, whether we want to look at it as just a really big A, B, C, WXY structure, maybe even a WXYXZ structure inside here. Okay, they all break down, whether we hit the 40 cents or not, right? There's basically limited upside here for XRP, and we should definitely be thinking about the potential to the downside. And that's unpopular because people don't want to hear these things, but essentially that is kind of what it is. Now, when we have this, whether we think of it as a triangle, whether we think of it as just, WXY, ABC, WXY, whatever it is. One of the things we can't ignore is our stochastic RSI showing us the momentum behind the price. It looks like the E wave or this ending move still has potential to go up a little bit, but we are overbought on the 4-hour, the 8-hour, and the daily chart, right? So here we can see a very clear picture that there's going to be a move to the downside. And if I come over into the daily, you can see that we're only just there. So there's still potential run to the upside a little bit. On the 20-hour, we can see that we're up in the overbought area. 16 hours, we're up in the overbought area. 12 hours, overbought. 8 hours, overbought. 4 hours, overbought. And the hourly, not quite. Okay, so there's momentum on the smallest time frame here, but not so much on the larger ones. Now, when we take a look here on the weekly, we've got loads of progression to the downside still to be had before we become oversold on the weekly time frame. So there's definitely cheaper prices here for XRP. I'm pretty confident on that, and therefore I'm not buying right now. I do think that there's going to be much better opportunities, and I don't think we've really seen the full extent to the breakdown out of FTX, Alameda Research, and everything that's been going on with all of these bankruptcies. So I still think there is ample time here for the market to bleed out more and increase that pain. Now, one of the things that we talk about a lot specifically on Twitch, which of course I will be live on Twitch, guys, at 10 o'clock this morning with Chris. So do go ahead and join us there if you can. But yeah, one of the things that we talk a lot about on Twitch is basically the bigger, broader economic climate and essentially what's going on with people and people's behavior. So Elliott wave theory kind of gives us this kind of idea that we were looking for some kind of movement to the upside, but this looks like it has basically just ranged sideways. And, one of the things that people are doing right now is basically, using savings to survive or using credit cards to survive. They're trying to outpace the bear market. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to play out too well. You're just going to end up in a whole load of debt with no savings. And you can see this with credit card debt globally increasing while savings accounts globally are decreasing, right? So you can see that people are diving into their savings and using credit cards to survive. Now, with that, eventually comes liquidating assets that maybe you didn't want to. Okay, so I think that we're going to see significant downside here across the board. Okay, and really the broader economic climate is kind of what's going to be indicating that to us, right? Until maximum pain has been felt, until maximum retail money has been shaken out of this space, i.e. they're selling their assets off. Until that happens, I don't think big money is really entertaining the idea of coming in here. We talk about this on the Twitch stream. So do join us there if you want more details on that. And in the case of XRP here, yeah, I'm thinking 25 cent right now, but it could be a lot worse than that. It's hard to say exactly. I mean, we're currently trading at 38 cent. So we can drop down to 25 and still be reasonably comfortable potentially. So just kind of keep this in mind that it could be really, really bad by the time these bottoms in this particular bear market comes in. Now, this is something new. We've been talking about this for months, right? The bear market that we're in right now has new variables to it. You can't just apply basic indicators from the previous two cycles and think that they're going to repeat themselves. Instead, we've got different things to consider now, and we are writing or rewriting the Bitcoin history and the crypto history. The first recession that we're in with basically cryptocurrency assets. So this is a huge learning experience for everyone in the space. And so far we've navigated it incredibly well, but at some point, we're going to kind of jump in here, and it could be the incorrect time. But, let's see what the data kind of leads us to. But for now, it does look like we need to bleed out a lot more. We need to have an increase in pain felt by retail money, and there needs to be a lot more blood in the streets before we can start seeing the really wealthy institutional level players coming in and scooping up all the cheap cryptocurrency. Okay, so we aren't there yet, which means 25 cent, although it's what I'm indicating now for XRP, could just be a stop in place temporarily before going down to, let's say, 17 cent or even lower potentially. And these are numbers that we haven't seen since 2020. I know this because this is when me and Chris were originally buying in the crypto space, right? So it's fantastic to see these prices once again. But with all this new data, it's hard to be really, really predictive over it. So let's kind of keep this together. Join us down in the Discord server. We will be communicating everything there first, and we'll navigate this space as we have done so far, as Chris would say, impeccably, and we'll continue to do that the best that we can. Guys, I'm going to leave this video right there. If you have found this useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Guys, until the next one, have a fantastic day.